There we go. I had to fix the mic. Good morning, good morning, good morning. welcome to Before You Take the Trade Analysis. I want to say thank you for taking the time to go ahead and join up with us this morning. There's a lot that I have to cover. I did not cover yesterday. I had a couple things that kind of came up, but we're going to go ahead and get into it. If you do not have a trading community, by all means, I do suggest you come over to Cheat Code. The link is down below. Come join our Discord. We always do a live trading floor. We have live classes, a lot of things that can make you a better trader. By all means, don't forget about my Instagram. Also, my Twitter is down below. It's called X, Twitter, or whatever. I don't know what Elon Musk is doing now, but at the end of the day, my YouTube had a really good turnout as far as weekly mindset. If you do need a little bit of a reset, get yourself back to zero, my weekly mindset released yesterday at 5 p.m. Go ahead and check out the video so that way you can become a better trader as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the chart. Let me make sure it has the right screen. And yep, it got the right screen. Let me go ahead and bring in my bad boy. All right, so this is my whole entire commodities screen. Let me bring this back up. All right, so this is basically NQ, oil, gold, silver. We got British pound. We have ourselves natural gas. Natural gas has been running recently. I don't know what's going on with natural gas. To be honest, I didn't expect natural gas to start pushing at this point, but maybe we got to extend the winter. I don't know. We'll see. All right, and then we got Russell. Russell tends to lead the way. And then we got the US dollar over here on this side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into that bad boy. All right, so let's go ahead and start with NQ. Now, NQ did something that was very interesting. I really am banking on this 16062. Now, 16062 is on top of a daily order block that I think if we stay under it, the market is going to still come down. If we stay above it, they might go ahead and try to head to that all-time high around 16,676. But of course, there's some levels in between that. But generally speaking, I think this is probably that build up. If we hold above here without really breaking down or even trying to wick down below 5,911, 512, we should be fine to continue to the upside. So just keep it. I put a level on NQ at 16,062. I think that's a strong level. We above it, should be bullish. We below it, should be bearish. All right. So this is what I've been looking at. We've been dancing around here, right? And especially with the London session, I don't know what they were planning, but it looked like we had a nice little dump at London and someone bought up all the dip. And we got ourselves a nice angle here. Even though we filled most of this value, it seemed like the market is being propped up now. Now, there is some news that will be coming up. I believe today's Thursday, so that's jobs report. So there's going to be jobs report. I'm anticipating something bullish for the dollar because during the jobs report, we should be getting some of the hires that's needed to cover the holiday season. So with the economy looking like it's powering up and everything else, I'm thinking we're going to be a little bit bullish on the dollar, but I may be completely wrong. Make sure you chart out the dollar. We're going to go into that as well. All right. So you can see that this daily order block, I pretty much have it. It's super wide. It ends at, let me see if I can click it. Yep, there we go. It ends at 15,911.25 and it starts at 15,662.50. So as we battle around here, it's going to really hold the market in a certain type of standpoint. So if you feel like it's really choppy and you're getting beat up on the market, I do suggest that you just, relax a little bit, because you don't want to be, unless you're scalping, you don't want to be in the wrong position. Like I just scalped a good 20 ticks just now on this downside. So I'm just going to look at this, see how the market wants to handle it, and go forward from there. So be careful here, because the NQ can power up. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one. Let's talk about oil. Oil looks good. I like where oil is. Oil looks like it wants to, hold on, I gotta readjust myself a little bit. Oil looks like it wants to kind of hold this level above the 77.58. Remember what I told y'all, right? 77.58 was going to be a tough one. What did it do? It first rejected here, came back down, tweezers bottoms, started the uptrend. If you drew an upward trend line here and then get a deviation of that uptrend from here to here, this would have told you where we are, and plus we had that golden cross that happened on the 30-minute. If we look at it from the 1 hour, the golden cross just roughly started, and I think the 4 hour is right at the edge of it. Nope, it might have been the 2 hour. Yeah, so the 2 hour is at the edge of giving us a golden cross as well. Now, I'm not saying for you to go ahead and start pouring your money into it right now. To be honest, I think that oil where it is a nice spot for a bounce, because anything north of 77.58 should be something bullish, but just temper your expectations on it, because if we look at it here, the 2 hour is struggling to hold this. We're putting in a boosty candle. This is from the Chico Algo. We're getting a caution candle with a hint indicator, very close to an auto fib, which is close to a psychological level of $80. So we could reject now and then eventually start to come back and retest that 77.58. So we'll see how the market treats this. Maybe even get below this auto fib. But either way, it is a bullish uptrend. And you can see how the cheat code algo, let me remove these lines here. And you'll see that the cheat code algo automatically gave us these same angles that I'm talking about right here. But with the stochastic pointing out on a 2 hour, I want to see the 30-minute kind of catch up. Try to tell me, what are you planning to do? I see these long wicks looking like it wants to get through this bullish order block. But if it doesn't get through this bullish order block, we're going to use this as a bounce area, come back and retest the supply zone, and then we could go ahead and try to retest $80 one more time. Not break above 80, but this could be a nice little bounce if we make a higher low to try to go ahead and attack $80. All right, let's go to the next one. Next one is gold. Now, gold had a contract expiration, so they changed the contract up. So that's why we get in a little bit of this, how do I say it? A little bit of a gap. I don't like to call it a gap. I just pricing imbalance for the most part, right? I do want to see gold fill this before it takes off again. It will tell me that we have supporters. And you can see we're putting in a 30-minute bearish order block on here right now. So this bearish order block can help us a little bit, because then we could retrace, come down a little bit lower, and then we could go ahead and try to attack 2050 to 2060. It will be an area or a zone that I want to see them kind of dance back and forth before we really start to take off again and try this all-time highs. All right, so that's what gold is doing. And then gold and silver, right? So they pretty much are doing the same. Yeah, I think I might get rid of silver and just stick with gold. I don't know if we have a lot of silver players out there. You know, just message me. Let me know if you play silver. I might switch this over to ES just so we can get the SPY and SPX and all of them kind of put in there. So I might switch that up. But yeah, you can see it's kind of similar. We kind of rejected roughly around here. The only thing is it looked like it found its bullish order block and it's bouncing already. Meanwhile, gold went a little bit deeper, but I think it's just because it's so popular. A lot of people started taking their profits. All right. Over here is the British pound. If we go up, they go up. So since we went down, they went down, right? So it's not as tethered as I would like it to be, because the bullish dollar is making the British pound become a lot more bearish, right? But because of this order block on NQ, we've been holding up right at this level for a very long period of time. So I want to see, does this British pound put more weight into it, making the dollar stronger, and then we blast right through? Maybe. Possibly, but right now NQ is above that 16,062. Let's see what the jobs report at 8:30 does. All right. Natural gas. I was going to replace natural gas because it looked like it was getting boring, but wow, look at this bad boy. This thing is just moving. We got ourselves what looks like a W pattern that's happening here from a bigger type of W pattern right here. So I want to see what natural gas does with this momentum. Generally, if we look at the weekly, it is on a downtrend. I wouldn't say take this for something long term. Oh, I didn't even notice that we even triggered a sell signal. But we got to close this week. We got 2 days, basically this trading period and tomorrow to see exactly what it wants to do with itself. But if we look at it, it may turn around and have a sell signal as long as it's below 2.848. All right, so that is natural gas. And then here's the Russell. Let's go ahead and switch this over to the 4-hour. The Russell has been leading the way a little bit, and you can see we're in consolidation because they're in consolidation. Now, their consolidation is a little bit different. They're on top of a bullish order block, and even though NQ is kind of a bullish order block, but we rejected from that level so hard in July that I think that that level is going to be really, really tough for it based on those parameters more so than what's happening recently. We haven't made no real strides to the upside, showing that we're trying to take out a lot of the higher highs. We just kind of started doing that when we hit 16,200. So at the point where we are right now, I would like to see the Russell start to power up. Then it's probably going to give me a little bit of signal letting me know that the rest of the market may follow the Russell. But right now it looks like a lot of investors are starting to pull their money out. So look for this to kind of give yourself a little bit of a pullback, maybe even break back down under 1791 and retest some of these lows here. All right, so that's that one. All right, let's go ahead and get into the dollar. All right, now the dollar is where I wanted it to be to a certain degree. I was being a little greedy when I said I wanted it deep inside of the golden ratio zone. If you forgot how I kind of drew this out, let me come out to the daily. So I drew this basically on the swing low and then to the swing high. This position is letting me know that we're coming to the 618 and it's giving us what looks like a morning star, right? So with this morning star here, it makes me think that we're not going to get to this level here, which I was thinking we're going to get to the golden zone more than the golden ratio of 618. And to be honest, it's all about comfort. If you like to take it right off the 618, by all means, take it off the 618. But if you're the type of person that really, really want to be able to take it right off of the zone so you can get a better discount, wait for the retracement, wait for your oscillators kind of meet up. I'm not saying golden zone failed here. I just think that the market is reacting to this a little bit different. All right. So now that it looks like we're putting in this morning star that's about to give us this action with the stochastic pointing up, I want to see if we can test 103.82. That should really make the market dump and start heading to some lower levels. All right. So that is that one. Okay. I think I kind of went through everything. Yeah, NQ is still pushing its way. We're still above 77. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into some more fun stuff. Let me go find my other chart. Where are you? Oop, wrong one. Let's see. Where are you? Don't you just hate it when you don't have your charts? That is my trading chart. Would use that one, but I don't want to use that one. Let's keep going. Not this one, not this one, not this one. Maybe it's this one, and I just have it hit E. Nope. That is not it. Ah, don't you just love it when you don't have technology work your way? This one. Oh, man. I have too many chart setups. Let me find it. Ah, there we go. Finally found it. Took me a little bit, but here it is. I apologize. Look, at the end of the day, I'm still working with this software. I try to speed this up so it can get here at 7 a.m. Look, at the end of the day, here's the chart. This is what it looks like, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right. So, yeah. So, now, what I am looking at, let's start with, actually, since Lockheed Martin is, I'm looking at that one right now. All right. So, Lockheed Martin, I was looking for weakness. It looked like we had a nice little downtrend. I wanted to see if we could kind of attack this. Looking at it from the 2-hour perspective so I could get my trading plan on. I was looking for this downtrend to just continue to hold and then start taking out some of these lows. So when you see that, you'll see that we were already on a downtrend. Over here, we just broke through, and we're going to finally make our second test. Now, I think I talked about this earlier this week, and I'm like, well, you know, if we get a second test of this level, we're probably going to go ahead and bounce off of this level here. But I would love to kind of see it start to head to like TP1 or TP2, and then we could get back to our regularly scheduled program. That way it can start filling this gap. And I think a good catalyst for this is that we just had the ex-dividend date, and it's probably going to go ahead and start heading towards that. But if it doesn't do that, we're probably going to get a bounce here or the backside of this downtrend, and that'll be the second test of it, and then kind of come back up for that upside. But it just all depends, especially, you know, they're one of the biggest manufacturers for a lot of the war stuff, and, you know, we got the stuff going on in the Middle East, so it's making it a little bit difficult for this thing to kind of come down, because investors do believe they want to get into tickers like Lockheed Martin. So we'll see what happens today, because today will be the first day after ex-dividend. All right, next one. It is, oh, actually, you know what? There was one thing I did want to cover. I wanted to cover Melly. This was one that Casey gave us earlier, and I don't know if he's online. Let me go check if he's online. Nah, he's not online. He gave us Melly, and let me see, what was his idea based on his trade. Go to here, go to here. I want to say it was this one. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay, there we go. Melly. So he's looking at Melly. This is the Mexican version of Amazon. Really, really good company. You could see they've been powering up real good recently, especially coming out from breaking out that downtrend right here. Their earnings is coming up in March. Then they did solid right here in November 1st. So this one looks like it's really, really good at where it is. And if you don't know how Casey kind of trades, he kind of trades with a lot of these low flow caps. And this one is only 44 million. So this one should be a good little trade here. Let's see if I can find some of his levels. I'm going to need some new ones. Let's go with, let's see, daily maybe? Nope, I already did daily. Let's try the weekly. Okay, so the weekly might give us the levels that he's looking at. All right, so he trades on the daily, and the way he has his setup, he's looking at a long entry at 16,111. We're getting close to that, Casey, so I know you're probably eyeballing that right now. He's looking for a take profit at 1710. I would say he probably could get away with 1712, but I think he's probably avoiding some of the resistance that we're probably going to face on that weekly, because I'm pretty sure sellers are probably sitting here. But we got a nice little imbalance, so this thing could get to 1782 relatively quickly, so that could be a nice little spot. And then stop loss at 15,433. Oof, I don't know. I would say, oh, I see where he's going. He's taking last week's close as a stop, which is probably a really, really good idea. If you're taking a trade, it's been running for a while. If it's on an uptrend, then that uptrend should continue all the way into the next candle. So it should continue to create more imbalances. But if it's starting to break down the imbalance that it just created, which this week, it looks like we got 2 days, and it's probably going to have one right here. Then that means you probably are facing a possibility where it's going to come back and start to hit some of the lows, and it's probably did a reversal. So I do like where he's going with that, and this probably is going to be a sound trade to 1712. I don't know about the entry of 1611. I think I would like it where it is right now, especially how the daily ended. Yeah, it kind of ended bullish, which you could say your support is here. I would say even 1579 is probably a good spot for you to kind of look at a possible rejection or a bounce area, or even a stop loss if you want to have it like that. But anything else, this thing's been running for a very long time, and it looks really, really good the way it's designed here. Let me get back to my text over here. All right, so no questions there. All right, and then the next one we're going to go into, let me see, where's my list? My list is here. Let's go with Roku. Roku did really, really well. The only thing is, my trading plan for Roku, it was required that I look at the first 1 hour, and it kind of faked me out a little bit. When we have a long wick like this, it lets me know that there's some selling pressure that's coming in. I don't want to be in a mix of some type of selling pressure that's going to put me to any lower lows. So I kind of got out of the position, but it has been running for a while. I was looking from a daily perspective, and you could see it got to TP1 over here. So technically, if I held my entry from here to here, I still would have solved about, let's see, boom, 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 about a good $4. That's good money as far as upside on that ticker. So Roku still could continue where it is. Shout out to Bucky, because he said something, I think he said weekly or monthly. Might have been monthly. Well, we got a good entry on the weekly here. We got MACD pointing up, bullish, regular divergence. That's what kind of made me get in the first place. Might have been monthly, I think he said. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think it was monthly. So in like 8 hours, we're going to have a monthly buy signal, letting us know that this thing is probably going to continue where it is. So I'm looking at possible getting back to 135 before it has any trouble. That's what I'm thinking. So next month we should get a new trading plan that pops up, but overall this thing looks bullish. It looks really, really strong. So as soon as we start forming the next candle, I'll probably bring Roku back in the mix as well. Let me give y'all one more before I get out of here. Affirm, Walmart, maybe. Simon Properties. Let's go with Simon Properties. Let's see how they're doing. SPG. If you don't know who Simon Properties are, they're a REIT company, and what they do, they pretty much own a lot of popular malls. If you're in a big city, you probably heard of Simon Properties, especially in the South. But right now, Simon Properties on this monthly looks a little bit good. It looks like consolidation as they try to continue to that upside. We might get a consolidation breakout. The weekly looks like it's building its base. So our base is roughly around here. As long as we don't get anywhere around that break of structure over here, we should be fine. Hence the stop loss over here for the cheat code with a bullish divergence here on the weekly. And then the daily looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. I don't like this hammer here yesterday that it put in. Let's see. I like the fact that it's at the entry level. You may get a few more days where it runs up. I don't know if it's going to get to 137 per se, but this level at 125 probably could be a first target, and then you start heading over to that 137. So we'll see how that goes from there. What else? Oh, and then the 4 hour. I think that's the one that kind of brought my attention to it. Even though we kind of created a hammer, right? The MACD was crossing up. That's what I was looking for in the 4 hours. So I thought it was going to continue and break above. But you can see right here, we failed to break this level. Finish filled the gap, which would bring us. Actually, they did finish fill the gap and got a little minor one that's sitting over here. It did fill the gap, but I think because of this gap, they came back to fill back down. If it breaks below 122.47, it's probably going to go ahead and continue to the downside. But if it doesn't that's like a double negative. If it does a bounce before it actually makes it to this level here, it's probably going to go ahead and continue break above this buy signal. We'll probably break above 123.73, and then we'll probably continue to that upside. So that's probably what I'm looking for. And probably some profit taking later on in the month, and then probably come back down, maybe retest some of these levels that's down here. But we'll see how Simon Property goes along the way. And since no one put anything in the chat of what they want to look at, I think we could end it right here. I want to say thank you very much, everyone, for participating. If you like what you see, by all means, hit the rocket button that's on the trading view. That's how the algorithm goes, and they boost me up so that way they show that I show really, really good information. Other people that doesn't know that I'm live, they probably find my information, maybe even follow me. If you don't follow me, by all means, click the follow button so that way you can be able to see when I get online. The goal is Tuesday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7:15. I did spill over a little bit. We're at 7:24. If you don't have a trading community and you need a trading floor so that way you can trade with people, we have a live futures trading floor that I host at 8 a.m. Go ahead, join the Discord, come over, and we'll show you how to trade. We'll even start kind of coaching you through your trades or everything else like that. After that, There's my Instagram. There's my Twitter. I do want 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube. If you can, go ahead, click the subscribe button, send it to your friends, family, all of it. If they're traders and they're struggling with mindset to that way they can make sure that they know what they're doing and how to handle it, I use a lot of metaphors and bring it to the most layman's terms as possible, so that way you can become a better trader and really understand yourself as you try to build your trader identity. If you don't know your trader's identity, please hit me up on the DM. I'm working on a project and could use some more people to participate with that project. We're going to help find you your trader identity. Other than that, I will see you Tuesday at 7 a.m. or before you take the trade analysis. Thank you, everyone. See you later.